What is something you look back on and you thought to yourself at the time or even since, wow, this is pretty incredible? And that is a sense of awe. For instance, if you look down at the Grand Canyon and you're struck by how deep it is and how wide it is, it seems almost unreal. And I still remember just a couple memories as a kid in Pasadena, going to what was called Imperial Schools, a private school, through elementary grades, and going to what was the Ambassador Auditorium and hearing Dr. Zimmerman talk, and sitting on the stage, on the hard wooden stage, listening to, seemed like a couple hours, but because it was such a hard stage, obviously, for a young kid, but hearing a symphony. And of course, if you understand anything about symphonies and orchestras, how they have to all be in tuned to each other, and that's why when they're first starting out, they're making all these sounds, and how they have to play in the proper timing with each other, and the different dynamics of how loud they are, how quiet, there's tempo or speed, the pauses at the right moments, and all of that is orchestrated, thus the term orchestra, by the director, someone who keeps it all in timing. And I was filled with awe and amazement how they kept all these various 20-some musicians all working together in perfect harmony. And then flash forward a few years, and I'm in college classes, and I'm taking biology, and I'm taking all these courses in science, and being struck, just even a single cell is basically a city of functions with digestion and with energy production and with sometimes various mechanical pieces and parts, like even the cells of your muscle or the nerve cells, and being struck with in how they carry waste products off, how they defend themselves, how a white blood cell will engulf other cells, and being struck with awe at how complex and how all the various parts of just that single cell function much like a symphony or an orchestra. And then understanding, even now to this day, understanding the physiology of the human body, that you have 70 billion or 50 billion brain cells and 70 trillion body cells all working together. So let's understand just one simple thing, and that is what they call irreducible complexity. How your body is designed to work together, and that insinuates something. That there's a director composing and directing the orchestration of a symphony, and same thing with your body. We call it innate intelligence, what is designed in us. And of course, in 2004, there was a famous scientist, evolutionist, that became an intelligent design theorist, understanding that's a legitimate scientific theory based on systems biology. How all the parts and pieces are functioning together, and you can't have a stepwise fashion, say the stomach developing on its own magically, and then the intestines developing. It has to develop together. And that's called systems biology, and that's convinced more than a few evolutionists that there has to be a creative intelligence. And so chiropractors give a nod to this by understanding that there is an innate intelligence that we have had designed within us that is coordinating and directing that constant symphony of parts and pieces of your body in perfect accord, or in as ideal accord as possible. And that's, of course, why we stress the importance of that coordinator, the nervous system at the center of your body, and keeping that clear. So a few flashbacks to when I was to some epiphanies or realizations as I came along in understanding the natural order around us, and how that even applies to my approach to health. See you soon here in the office.